Hello everyone, I'm Nini FC and this is Blue Lions TV, and today I'm bringing you guys another Sarri update video. But before I get straight in the video, you guys smash that like button, help me get more than 500 likes for this video, and remember, press the bell notification button. It looks like YouTube have done something new yesterday, so if you do press the bell notification button, make sure you set the bell notification button to at all times when you press the button. But getting straight into the video, negotiations are continuing, but the outcome will be finalized soon. So you guys, please, all I can stress is have patience. I'm starting to feel that a lot of people are becoming pretty impatient and it's starting to border on feeling entitled. Remember, the club is in lockdown mode at this moment in time, and as I explained before, when the club is in lockdown mode, it means that they are working on things. I do have some news on Conte and the ongoing negotiations with sacking him, but the main point of this video is to really just make things clearer for you guys so you can get the full picture and understand what's happening. Now, I was told this information in the early hours of this morning, and this report has been coming out from Italian media publications and figures and journalists as well. So this is a real thing. Sarri is set to sign a 2-year contract with the option of extending that by another year. Sarri's wages will be £5 million a year. That's less than half of what Conte is earning at the club. I can tell you this, Zenit St. Petersburg did offer Sarri much more, around £8 to £9 million. But as I keep stating, Sarri has been rejecting Zenit St. Petersburg's advances all the time. He wants to sign for Chelsea, he's desperate to sign for Chelsea. Still, Matt Law has reported that there is an intermediary figure that is liaising with Sarri and Chelsea in helping with the current negotiations. There were rumours that it could potentially be Pep Guardiola. Of course, Pep is a massive fan of Sarri, and I have been told too that Pep has consulted with Chelsea at times. I've been told that him and Roman are friends, and over the years Pep has consulted with the club at times. No one find that too crazy, it's just how football works. When Sir Alex Ferguson was a manager, tons of managers would come to him for advice with deals, transfer, or even when it came to tactics to use for other teams. It's how football works. Another rumour came out that it could potentially be Gianfranco Zola, but this intermediary is employed by Sarri, so that rules out Zola. So at this time, no one really knows other than Matt Law. In regards to Conte, we're still negotiating with him in regards to his payoff. Later on in this video, I am going to be explaining what I'm hearing and what's happening at this moment in time. Still, this is going to be the part of the video where I try to make things clearer for you guys to understand. A lot of people keep telling me, but Nini, don't Napoli still own Sarri? Why do you keep saying that he's been sacked? Well, the clearest indication that anyone needs to see is the fact that Ancelotti is the new Napoli manager, so that pretty much confirms everything. Sarri is no longer the manager, but due to his contract, he still is an employee of the club at this moment in time. But of course, he has been relieved of his managerial duties. Sarri is gone, and because he's gone, that means that Napoli aren't eligible to claim the buyout clause that was part of Sarri's contracts. But because he technically still is an employee of the club, ADL, obviously De Laurentiis, still has some clout when it comes to trying to get something favourable for the club and for himself. The reason why this negotiation is pretty long too is the fact that one, ADL is still pretty annoyed at the fact that Chelsea were able to get him to sack Sarri and obviously play him. As I reported in my video 2 days ago when I said that an unannounced club had activated Sarri's release clause, that was Zenit St. Petersburg. And ADL would have happily let Zenit St. Petersburg sign Sarri because of course they did activate that buyout clause. But Sarri doesn't want to join them. Why has Sarri constantly been rejecting St. Petersburg's advances? Well, you guys would have seen the video that I did break 2 days ago, and that was the plan that Marina stated to him to try and get himself sacked from Napoli. You're not going through all of that hustle if you're not serious about joining Chelsea. Still, other questions did come out from this, and one was the fact that, well, if Sarri is still technically employed by Napoli, what's stopping him from just keeping him at the club and just letting him rot there? Well, you guys, again, that was pretty reactionary as usual. You know, sometimes things can be a bit too reactionary online. It makes no business sense. We have to remember, try and see football clubs as a business. Why are you going to keep someone on, pay him all this wages, all this money to not use him? Of course, it makes absolutely no sense. Of course, technically, if they were stupid enough to do that, they could exercise that right to do that, but we have to use common sense in this scenario. That won't be happening. Still, continuing with other things I have heard and that have been coming out from the press as well, and that's the fact that ADL would like a reduction for a Chelsea player as part of the deal and that player is David Luiz. Well, from what I'm hearing so far, from the few snippets of information I've been able to get, the club don't want to sell David Luiz and they don't want him to be part of the deal. I've said this before in lots of other videos. Roman really likes David Luiz. And think too, would Luiz be happy with just moving from London to Napoli like that and not being in control of his destination? Makes no sense. Still, there's a massive possibility that Marina will pay some of the buyout clause, not all of it, but let's say 50% of it, as a goodwill gesture, and this should be enough to appease ADL. One crazy report did come out that Chelsea have spoken about the idea of bringing in Koulibaly as well as Sarri, and that ADL would have liked to have 70 million euros as well as David Luiz for that deal. Again, I'll speak about that rumour later on in the transfer news video tonight. You know what the transfer news videos are about. I just give my thoughts and opinions on the news that's coming out. But already to me, that makes no sense. Moving on to the next part, and what's happening with the Antonio Conte situation. Chelsea are still trying to find a solution with Conte. Conte is still in Sardinia, I've been told. Of course, it was reported beforehand that Conte would be there because that Paolo testimony game. Still, Conte is still in Sardinia, and I have been told there is a possibility, and this is just speculation from my source, that club officials or Roman Abramovich himself could actually fly out to Sardinia to meet with Conte face to face. Roman doesn't have a UK investment visa at this moment in time, so he's not allowed back in the country until that visa is renewed. I've been told the negotiations are still ongoing and they're still trying to find a financially suitable deal to pay off Conte. Still, no debate, Conte has every right to demand the money he's owed. Now, my source has told me today that things look like it's starting to wrap up, and he's told me about a deal that's been working in place with Chelsea and Conte. And here's what Chelsea are hoping to do. Now, I've been told that Chelsea have offered Antonio Conte paying 6 months of his wages up front, and on top of that, obviously being owed his compensation package. So that would be a lump payment of £7 million. And the idea is that if he gets that lump payment, that could be more financially suitable because otherwise he doesn't have to wait every month for his money to come in. And the club are hoping that the £5 million they have saved can just be used to pay Sarri's wages. Now, the only issue though with Conte, and this is just speculating now, I haven't been told anything in regards to Conte's decisions, but I'm just using logic. And the issue I feel could be that, well, would Conte be happy with missing out on an extra £5 million? But how I see it is the fact that this could end up being a better deal for Conte. Of course, there's the assumption that Conte would be out for a year, but there's a massive possibility that, let's say there's a job available during next season, Conte has a big chance of getting that job. Still, there is a positive. Let's say that Conte didn't accept that offer that was proposed, and he wants to get all of his money as well as his compensation package. Remember, the club would only pay his money up to the point where he got a new job. Now, let's say hypothetically during next season, halfway through the season for example, Conte is appointed at a new big team. Or let's say he's appointed even earlier than that. The deal that Chelsea have proposed could work in his favour even more because he would be earning more from it. So the offer proposed by Chelsea is still very attractive. We do know that Conte is desperate to manage a team. This is why he's been forcing through this Paris Saint-Germain move. Ideally, he doesn't want to be out for a year. So if there's a possibility that he can earn 7 million and find a new job pretty quickly, it works in everyone's favour. Still, I have been told by my source that there is still a massive possibility that Chelsea will just pay all of the compensation towards Antonio Conte. So, as I've already spoken about in yesterday's video, that's going to be Conte's wages for the year, and on top of that, a 2 million compensation package. And as I've said so many times before, if Conte does find a new job beforehand, then Chelsea aren't entitled to pay him the full year's worth of wages. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, and hopefully I hear more from him later on. Still, you guys, that's everything I know currently at this point. Of course, if there's anything new, I will be releasing it on Blue Lines TV, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching the video. I'm going to be releasing a transfer news video later on, just talking about some of the rumours that have been coming out in regards to potential targets for the summer. You guys know what to do. Smash that like button, help me get more than 500 likes, and press the bell notification button as well. Thanks for watching. I'm NiniFC. This is Blue Lines TV, signing out.